We're back with another WCW Wednesday Nitro. Sorry, got slipped up on the Monday there. We're in front of 2,130 people. We're still at the University of Central Florida, and that's going to be our base for at least some of these tapings here for this month. I want to say thank you to everybody who enjoyed the last Nitro video, so thank you so much for that. And we're just going to jump right into this Nitro as we are continuing our 3 tournaments, US, Tag, and Cruiserweight. We know our pay-per-view is coming, the Great American Bash on June 10th. So we have about 2 more Nitros after this before the pay-per-view. So that's exciting stuff. We found out our main event of for the Great American Bash after last week's Nitro, where Buff Bagwell, even though he did do some underhand tactics to get the win, did beat Diamond Dallas Page to earn his shot at Booker T. So, let's get to the second Nitro of our regime. Technically, it's number 290. And the show opens with a 2-minute video package, just like we do on every show, where it's hyping up the opening of the show. So we're using Booker T, Buff Bagwell, DDP, and RVD for this one. 54 on the opening video segment of Nitro. And we are going to open the show with a segment called Buff Bagwell and Booker T's in-ring segment. And that's opening with Buff Bagwell's music starting the show off as he comes down to the ring and he says, "I told you all I would get my way one way or another to get in the main event of the Great American Bash and become WCW champion. You didn't want to believe the Buff with the stuff, but I did it. This means there's only one hurdle left for me, and that's you, Booker T. You have something I want. Something I was so close to grabbing at the Big Bang, but you stole it from me." And Booker T's music hits, cuts off Buff Bagwell. I think it's right here. It's one of these two that has it, where it shows you all of it. Maybe not. That's fine, though. And Booker T says, "You know, I was actually impressed you got the win last week. However, I want you to know that just because you beat Diamond Dallas Page last week doesn't change our history and what's going to happen at the Great American Bash. Marcus, you and I have gone back and forth since the mid-90s when we were still in tag teams together. And the reality of it is, Buff, at the end of the day, Booker T always gets the win, and Buff Bagwell always keeps looking like a sucker." And then he does the finish of the promo with the "Can you dig that?" And he does that. So the segment goes with part 1 being a 64, which was mainly all Buff. Part 2 was Buff and Booker with a 70. Storyline has advanced. They all did great here, which we knew was going to happen. And a 68 rating overall on these segments. So good opening promo here to start the show. And we get a bout that's part of our Cruiserweight tournament, and a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat. Psicosis defeats AJ Styles in 12:37 by pinfall with a diving leg drop. High spots match for the Cruiserweights. This was simply, I felt Psicosis needed the win here to kind of solidify who he is in professional wrestling at this point. AJ doesn't need it yet, so that's okay. 43 on the wrestling, 25 on the crowd, 44 on the overall segment. AJ got us a 43, Psicosis got us a 42. The Cruiserweight Championship storyline has advanced, and AJ got a hot new move, and the commentary lifted the match. So, good stuff here. Again, part of the tournament. Psicosis had to get the win here, though. I think it was the best case scenario, so he's going to advance in the tournament. We get a backstage promo from Mark Jindrak, Sean Stasiak, and Stacy Keibler. They're staying as a team for the most part here. 2 former members of the Natural Born Thrillers, Stacy Keibler by their side. This is just like a generic backstage promo where they're acting cocky and really trying to, they're the young guys of WCW. They're going to take over, that type of promo. Nothing really to write home about here. This is mainly just to see where they were when it came to promos, so now we know that it's not great, but that's okay. Sean Stasiak's getting better at his gimmick, 38 on the segment. In a bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Jindrak and Stasiak defeat Second City Saints, which is CM Punk and Colt Cabana, in 9:51 when Mark Jindrak pinned CM Punk with a diving clothesline. Jindrak was the weak link somehow here, and this is obviously part of the tournament. Jindrak of 34, Stasiak of 52, Cabana and Punk 44 and 45 respectively. Storyline 5, the tag team tournament has advanced, and some great chemistries and things like that. Wrestling rating of 44, crowd rating of 22, segment 45. Again, CM Punk and Colt Cabana are pretty much rookies right now. No reason to have them win when they don't need it yet. This is more or less just to kind of get the ball rolling, see where we're at, and then we kind of start establishing our next wave of young guys from there. So good win out of Jindrak and Stasiak. Jindrak needs some in-ring work, buddy. Come on. And we get into our final first round match for the Cruiserweight tournament, and it's a great match here. In a decent match, Shane Helms defeats Juventud Gurerra in 12:52 by pinfall with a vertebreaker. Obviously, again, part of the Cruiserweight tournament. This is the final one of the first round. Juventud of 54, Shane Helms of 57. Storyline advanced. Wrestling rating of 56, crowd 37, segment 55. So we know next week Shane Helms will face Psicosis. And then also, let me check my tournament here. And also it'll be Kidman facing Chavo. So that'll be a fun Final Four for the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. Not much else to say here. Great stuff. I love having Juvi back in the fold. And Shane Helms, gets the much needed win here. So good stuff out of both guys. We got Shane McMahon in his office here as Buff Bagwell walks in all cocky and starts talking the Great American Bash. Says that he's going to beat Booker T. Shane McMahon doubts him and says maybe you should be watching Booker T's match tonight in the main event to make sure you don't slip up like you always do. So Shane's kind of being a snarky kind of ass here, but that's just kind of how he's kind of being here. He's a no-nonsense owner. He's just trying to really kind of mess with the heels when he needs to. So storyline advance, Buff Bagwell with a 69 overall for the segment. Not much to really write home about here, but the whole point of this segment was for Shane McMahon to kind of put Buff Bagwell in his place here. So that's kind of where we're at. All right. Alrighty. And in a decent match, Mike Awesome defeats Tommy Dreamer in 12:49 by pinfall with an awesome bomb. Two former ECW champions in the U.S. Championship Tournament. Dreamer of 52, Awesome of 58. Storyline 3's advance, which is the U.S. title. Wrestling rating 55. Crowd was a little flat for this. That's unfortunate. And segment 56. I did change Awesome's gimmick because I don't think he should be a turncoat. He needs to be a badass. So that's exactly what we're doing there. So that's why we changed his gimmick there. It just made more sense for him to be a badass. Him to be part of Team Canada does nothing for me. I have no interest in seeing that or doing that, so we're not going to. Like I said, great match here. Mike Awesome is advancing in the tournament. Oh boy, we get a backstage promo where it is the just snooze fest, the best way to put it. It's the Natural Born Thrillers, Palumbo and O'Hare doing a backstage promo. They're just hyping up their tag team match in the tag team tournament coming up next. I have no positive words with the rating, but hey, this is baby growth here. We're gonna have it. The first couple shows, still getting used to booking on TEW 9 and getting used to my roster. So just how it is right now. So 31 rating on that. Even with multiple takes, that's just rude. All right. Anyway. In our final first round bout of the tag team tournament, in a poor match, Palumbo and O'Hare, the Natural Born Thrillers, defeat Elix Skipper and Kid Romeo in 10:21 when Chuck Palumbo pinned Elix Skipper with a super kick. Kid Romeo was the weak link, and obviously, like I said, it's the final match of the first round of the tag team tournament. Palumbo of 51, O'Hare of 52, Romeo of 35, and Elix of 46. Storyline 5 is advanced, which is the tag team storyline. Wrestling of 46, crowd of 33, and segment of 48. Not much to write home about there, but we get to the next round for the tag teams, so that's exciting. We got two at least one next week for the tag team, so I'll play that out, figure that out. We got 2 Nitros to go, so before the pay-per-view. We get another video package saying that Bob Holly is coming to WCW. Probably going to have him debut either next week or the week before the pay-per-view. Haven't fully decided yet, but I do know what he's going to do right off the rip. But you'll have to wait to find out what that is. 40 on the segment of the video package. We get a video package of Diamond Dallas Page at the Jersey Shore. DDP says, clearly, I'm off this week. I stepped away after losing that crucial match last week in a BS fashion to Buff Bagwell. Came back to the Jersey Shore to get my mind right and try to figure out why DDP did not win last week and why he's not WCW champion. But he says, I can guarantee this. Diamond Dallas Page is coming back to Nitro next week, ready to prove this People's Champion still has a lot in the tank and is nowhere close to retirement. And then he does the diamond symbol, and then bang. And that's the end of the promo. I wanted to give DDP the night off here, but I also wanted to have him cut a promo just to kind of keep him on the show and keep him kind of focused, even though he's not in the WCW Championship match at the Great American Bash. 69 rating on the segment, and obviously Page did great with off script. And in our final first round match for the U.S. Championship Tournament, this is a rematch from Big Bang. In a decent match, Curt Hennig defeats Lance Storm in 13-20 by pinfall with a fisherman suplex. This was a storytelling match. Lance Storm is 72, Curt Hennig of 53. Storyline 1 has advanced. Curt was off his game, that's okay. Wrestling rating of 63, crowd of 54, and 65 overall on the match. These guys delivered great at Big Bang, so I know we would be fine here. Curt Hennig's going to move on, though, and we have our final 4 for the U.S. tournament, which it's RVD and Canyon and Hennig versus Awesome. So, very exciting for the U.S. title. 65 rating on this overall segment. And in our main event of the evening, in a good match, Booker T defeats BG James in 7:47 by pinfall with a scissors kick. 57 from BG, 78 with Booker. He does have a slight injury, which is going to be written into stories in a second here. Wrestling rating 68, crowd rating of 60, and 69 overall on the segment. Great main event here. Hate that BG's taken a loss, but he's facing the world champion, so that's an exciting situation here. Post-match, Buff Bagwell hits the ring and attacks Booker T. So Booker T, from a house show, fractured his cheekbone. He still can work, but he is injured. So I'm having Buff Bagwell not injure him here, but during this attack, I'm going to have him, he's going to slam Booker T into the steel steps, and it's going to fracture Booker T's cheekbone like it is in real life in the game. So Buff Bagwell gets a 1-up here on Booker T as he stands tall to end the show, which is a 57 rating. Hopefully that wasn't too wordy, I apologize, but mainly the point is Booker T has an injury that's slowing him down, and I figured why not get more heat on Buff Bagwell by incorporating it into the story. That's pretty much what I did here. Let's see what we get for a show rating. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie. Little nervous. Oh, 68, okay. The show increased our popularity in 9 regions. The show benefited from having a quite wide selection of angles. So, okay, cool. That was not what I was expecting. I'll be fully transparent. I was not expecting a high rating, and we even got a little note that we did good with angles, even though the ratings were not pleasant. So, alright, cool. Well, I want to say thank you, everybody, for keeping this save up and running. We're going to try to bang out these next 2 Nitros and get us to Great American Bash. We got to finish up these tournaments, and then we're really off to the races. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button for me. Please throw some comments if you have ideas, or if you just want to say something about the save, that's cool too. I appreciate y'all, and we'll see you for the next one, for the next WCW Nitro.